Hello YouTube, this is BUB'S Comics coming at you with a very, very, very special comic haul. Um, I don't know where to begin. This is a huge Grail for me, huge Grail. I'm sure the thumbnail already shows what it is, so so there's not a whole lot to hide. So I'll go ahead and show it, and we'll talk about it for just a minute. But here is off my used to be 2018 list. Pushed it off to 2019 list because I had bought so many books this year. I just didn't think it was going to happen. And then through a comedy of errors, ended up with Giant Size X-Men #1 in a 3.5 CGC new case. Very, very, very happy with this book. I can't tell you. I can tell you that it's a higher grade than I expected. I thought I was going to get about a 2.5. I bought it in this condition, but what I mean by that is that the budget that I had set aside for this book was really in the 1.5 range. So my Hulk 181 was a 2.5, my X-Men 94 was a 2.5, and I had kind of decided that my Giant Size X-Men #1 should be at least a 2.5, which to me is, when I look at a 2.5, I'm looking at a book that presents well and looks like a comic book. I don't need it to look like it just came off the rack. You know, that doesn't, I don't care about that. I want it to look like a comic book. I want it to look like it's been read. I want it to look like it's in good condition. That's some of the charm of it to me. It doesn't bother with an older book. Now, if it's a modern book, I want a 9.8. But if it's a book, you know, prior to 1980, the condition doesn't really bother me as long as it still looks pretty good. I think this one looks pretty good. So, and I really like the idea that I was able to buy it from a fellow YouTuber, keep it in the YouTube community, and also that it was Alex the Comic Order, because I've watched his auctions before. I've never been able to buy a book off those. I always get beat out by some of the deeper pockets in the room, but this was a book that he put on Facebook instead. You know, I think he was trying to raise the money to upgrade a book. I don't know if it was this book or not, but you know, I was down for that. I'm a low grade collector, and 3.5 is the highest low grade I have. So, so I was really happy with that. But I just want to say thank you to a few people. I want to say thank you to Roger Metarog for being there with me all the time, and he and I collect a lot of the same stuff. We like a lot of the same stuff. We kind of have, he's kind of a non-slab guy. I'm kind of a slab at the right moment for the right book kind of guy. And then we get into the next extreme, which is DS Comics, which is basically an only slab guy. And so I want to thank him as well for all his help in teaching me the art of patience when it comes to these things, because I definitely, if I had bought, I was in the market to buy one of those overpriced raw books just maybe 6 months ago. So it really helps to learn patience, and it's the thing that's brought me to this point. And then also I'd like to thank Deadpool 2323 for, you know, teaching me about the Facebook groups and introducing me to those and turning me on to the right ones. And it was in one of the ones that he recommended to me that I found this book. And also he'd noticed the book too. So I had 2 notifications on this book. I had one that said that Alex the Comic Order had posted it, and then I had another one saying that Deadpool 2323 had commented on it. So I thought that was awesome. And of course I would buy with confidence from him, so it was no problem. But really cool. And then of course I'd also like to thank my wife for financing it and being patient with me while I got those books sold so I could pay her back. So that was good. I had a bunch of slabs to sell off, and it's worth it when you get something like this. And the comic budget is very quick to recuperate itself because I have a pretty solid system for sales. So when that happened, it's just a matter of days, and boom, we're right back where we started, and now I've got this book. So thank you, and of course thank you to Alex the Comic Order for selling me this book and agreeing on terms and getting it shipped out. And this guy shipped it. You know, DS Comics likes to say all the time that he ships to survive the apocalypse, and so does Alex the Comic Order. I mean, this guy, he went through like all the bubble wrap, all the tape. It was crazy. It was like breaking in at Fort Knox. I was actually worried I was going to damage the book. It was packed so well. Just trying to get into it, you know. but it was actually great. Just everything about it is perfect. I'm super happy with the book. It's beautiful, and if you all don't own one, I really recommend to go, do what you have to do to get one. Obviously don't rob a bank or anything, but sell comics, make the move, because when these books start taking up heat and they're so easily recognizable as they are, it's really only a matter of time before it's gone. And if you're a low grade collector like me, there is a moment where you've been purchasing or you've been saving for a book, and you have a budget in your mind and you don't want to spend more than a certain amount for the book. But the longer you wait, the price moves. Now, if you're keeping up with the price and you're increasing your budget accordingly and putting money into it in order to acquire the best copy you can, fine, as long as you're gaining ground. Meaning you're putting more money into the budget, the price is staying relatively the same or only moving slowly up, and you're catching up to it, and then you make the purchase when the nexus occurs. But if a book like this is taking off heat, it's going to leave you behind. If your budget is only a certain hard dollar amount, it might be worth putting a big increase into that budget in order to catch up to the book. And a book like this, I think, just like Hulk 181 did last year, I think this book is the next book to really jump. And if you have a chance to increase your budget a little bit and get one now, I highly suggest you did. That's what I did. And I'm glad I did it. So thank you to all the people I mentioned. And when you get done watching this video, don't crack one open and read one. But if you have others and top loaders, go ahead and read those. Thanks to the YouTube community. This is a huge milestone for me. Absolute 100% Holy Grail. And I'm just in awe of it. And I'm super happy to own it. Super proud. I just love it. All right. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Read a comic. Bye.